Friends, imagine for a moment that the very act of birth, that joyous, celebrated entrance into our world, was once perceived as something far more profound, something akin to a sacred death. What if the ancients, in their infinite wisdom, understood a truth about our arrival that we, in our modern enlightenment, have forgotten? What if the first breath was also the last, not of life, but of a different kind of existence? This isn't just a philosophical musing. It's a journey back to a time when consciousness was viewed as a tapestry woven across dimensions, and our physical birth was merely a transition, a shedding of one form for another. We're about to unlock the forgotten understanding of birth, delving into why it was revered as a sacred death, a cosmic exchange of forms. Prepare to question everything you thought you knew about your beginning, and perhaps glimpse the true nature of your eternal self. The Great Amnesia, echoes of the primal void. Before the veil of forgetfulness descended, before the clamor of the material world drowned out the whispers of eternity, humanity knew. They knew that the journey into form was not an ascension, but a descent, a deliberate contraction of an infinite self into a finite vessel. This wasn't a punishment, but a profound act of divine will, a sacred sacrifice. Consider the very etymology of birth itself. While it signifies emergence, its deeper, primordial echoes resonate with notions of severance, of a cutting away. In many ancient traditions, the umbilical cord wasn't just a physical tether, it was a cosmic thread, severing which meant a profound disengagement from a prior, boundless state. It was a separation from the pleroma, the divine fullness, a step into the realm of duality. The ancients, observing the cycles of nature, understood that every beginning necessitates an end. The seed dies to become a sprout. The caterpillar dies to become a butterfly. So too, they reasoned, must the soul undergo a form of death to truly be born into human experience. This wasn't a morbid outlook, but a recognition of the universal principle of transformation. This death was not an annihilation, but a transmigration, a shedding of one skin for another, infinitely more dense and limiting. Imagine a vast ocean, boundless and free, choosing to condense itself into a single drop, experiencing the world from that singular, localized perspective. That, in essence, was the sacred death of birth. It was a profound act of humility, a willingness to forget, to be veiled, to experience separation in order to truly know reunion. The journey into the human form was seen as an opportunity for the soul to gain wisdom through direct experience, to learn the lessons of limitation, contrast, and eventually, transcendence. Yet, this ensnarement wasn't without purpose. It was an opportunity for the soul to consciously awaken within the illusion, to remember its true nature while still in form. This is the ultimate spiritual alchemy, transforming the lead of forgetfulness into the gold of remembrance. The Egyptian Book of the Dead, often misunderstood as a guide for the deceased, was in truth a manual for the living, a guide for navigating the transitions of consciousness, including the ultimate transition of birth and death. It spoke of weighing the heart against the feather of Ma'at, not just after physical death, but throughout the soul's journey in and out of form. The samsara cycle in Eastern philosophies describes this continuous loop of birth, death, and rebirth. Each birth is a death to a previous existence, and each death is a birth into another. The ultimate goal is moksha, liberation from this cycle, achieving a state of unconditioned awareness. Birth, therefore, was not the beginning of a linear progression, but a turn in the grand, cyclical wheel of existence. The cosmic womb, dimensions beyond the veil. What exactly was the soul dying from? It wasn't merely an absence, but a presence of a different order. Think of it as a vast, multidimensional tapestry, shimmering with infinite possibilities. Before birth, the soul existed as a thread in this cosmic fabric, aware of its interconnectedness, unbound by the constraints of time and space. This state, often referred to as the pleroma, the Akashic field, or the quantum realm of pure potential, was a realm of pure consciousness, unmanifested yet eternally present. Imagine being pure light, pure energy, able to traverse dimensions with a mere thought. That was the life that was sacrificed at birth. The act of incarnating was a deliberate descent into density, a choice to experience the solidity and limitations of the physical universe. It was a commitment to a singular point of perception, a focusing of infinite awareness into a finite lens. The concept of a pre-existence is not new. Plato spoke of the soul's prior existence in the realm of forms, where it directly perceived perfect ideals before descending into the imperfect world of matter. Birth, then, was the moment of this descent, a separation from perfect knowledge. Consider the profound implications of simulation theory through an ancient lens. What if our reality is a simulation, but one divinely crafted, a school for the soul? In this context, birth isn't merely logging into the simulation. It's a deliberate choice to inhabit an avatar, to experience the program from within, accepting the death of the higher dimensional self that observes the simulation from outside. The sacred death of birth was thus a moment of profound initiation. It was a rite of passage, a voluntary relinquishing of omnipotence for the sake of experience, a willingness to be humbled and to learn anew. It was an act of courage, a leap of faith into the unknown. The breath of forgetfulness, the mechanism of veiling. How did this death occur? It wasn't a sudden cessation, but a gradual process of veiling. The very first breath, the first gasp of air, was seen not merely as an intake of oxygen, but as an energetic sealing, a closing off of the multidimensional pathways that connected the soul to its origin. Ancient wisdom traditions speak of energetic centers, chakras, which, at the moment of birth, become regulated and aligned with the vibrational frequency of the physical plane. While this enables functionality in the material world, it also restricts access to higher frequencies and broader perceptions. The pineal gland, often referred to as the third eye, was believed to be fully open and active in the pre-incarnated state, acting as a gateway to other dimensions. At birth, it undergoes a process of calcification and downregulation, effectively dimming the light of higher awareness. This wasn't a flaw, but a necessary mechanism for focusing consciousness within the human experience. This breath of forgetfulness wasn't a curse, but a divine mercy. Imagine the overwhelm of retaining full awareness of infinite dimensions while trying to navigate the complexities of a single human life. The veil allows for focused learning, for a singular, immersive experience. Think of it like putting on a virtual reality headset. To truly immerse yourself in the game, you need to forget, for a time, that you're in your living room. Birth was the moment the headset was put on, sealing off the direct awareness of the living room of cosmic consciousness. The ancient texts speak of karma not as punishment, but as a guiding force in this process. The soul's past experiences and choices influence the specific parameters of its death into a new life, the family, the circumstances, the challenges. These were not random, but meticulously chosen experiences designed for optimal growth and remembrance. The birth trauma, a glimpse of the sacred wound. Modern psychology acknowledges birth trauma, the profound shock and stress experienced by an infant during its passage into the world. But what if this trauma isn't merely physical, but also spiritual? What if it's the echoes of that sacred death, the shock of separation from boundless being? This isn't to say that physical birth isn't traumatic in its own right, but rather to suggest a deeper, underlying spiritual component. The sudden shift from a state of oceanic oneness within the womb to the jarring reality of individual existence can be seen as a microcosm of the soul's larger transition. The primal scream of a newborn, then, isn't just a cry for air or sustenance. It's the soul's lament for what it has willingly given up, a visceral expression of the profound existential shift it has just undergone. It's the last echo of the cosmic sigh before the veil fully descends. This sacred wound of birth, this initial separation, becomes the wellspring of our deepest human longing, the yearning for connection, for wholeness, for a return to the source. It drives our spiritual seeking, our quest for meaning, our desire to transcend the limitations of the individual self. Many spiritual practices, from meditation to breath work, aim to reverse this process, to temporarily lift the veil and reconnect with that forgotten state. They seek to heal the birth trauma, not by erasing it, but by integrating it, by understanding its purpose and transcending its limitations. The feeling of being not enough, of something missing, that many people carry throughout their lives, can be traced back to this initial separation. It's the subconscious memory of a state of absolute completeness, a memory that constantly nudges us towards reunion. Meditation in its myriad forms provides a direct path to quieting the noise of the physical mind and tuning into the subtler frequencies of consciousness. Regular meditation practice can foster a sense of interconnectedness, helping us to remember that we are more than just our physical bodies. It's about creating an internal space where the whispers of eternity can be heard. Connecting with nature also plays a crucial role. Nature, in its raw, untamed form, operates on universal principles of cycles, growth, and decay. By immersing ourselves in natural environments, we can reattune ourselves to these ancient rhythms and remember our own cyclical nature, our own connection to the grand tapestry of life and death. Finally, self-inquiry and introspection are vital. Asking profound questions like, "Who am I truly?" or "What is my purpose beyond this physical existence?" can initiate a powerful inner journey. By consistently seeking deeper truths, we begin to chip away at the layers of forgetting, revealing the radiant, eternal self beneath. This journey of remembrance isn't about escaping our human experience, but about enriching it. It's about living more fully, more consciously, and with a profound sense of purpose, knowing that our death into this life was a sacred choice, a deliberate act of love and courage. The Phoenix Rising, embracing the sacred cycle. To understand birth as a sacred death is to transform our relationship with both life and death. It removes the fear surrounding physical death, seeing it not as an end, but as another sacred transition, of birth back into the boundless realms. And it imbues life with an incredible sense of purpose, knowing that every moment is an opportunity for remembrance and growth. This profound understanding reminds us that we are not merely physical beings undergoing a spiritual experience, but spiritual beings having a temporary human experience. The life we lead here, with all its joys and sorrows, triumphs and tribulations, is a precious gift, a unique opportunity forged through the death of a higher state. Just as the phoenix rises from its own ashes, forever reborn, so too do our souls continually transform through the cycles of birth and death. Each death is a prelude to a new birth, a new opportunity for evolution, for deeper understanding, for a more profound expression of our divine essence. The ancients didn't lament this sacred death, they revered it. They understood it as an essential step in the soul's grand journey, a necessary contraction before an even greater expansion. They saw it as a testament to the soul's courage and its unwavering commitment to growth. So, the next time you witness a birth or contemplate your own existence, remember the ancient wisdom. Remember that this life is a sacred adventure, a cosmic school, and that your arrival here was a profound act of sacred death, a courageous surrender to form, for the ultimate purpose of remembering who you truly are. Your journey has just begun, and the greatest secrets are yet to be rediscovered within you. The Phoenix Rising, embracing the sacred cycle. To understand birth as a sacred death is to transform our relationship with both life and death. It removes the fear surrounding physical death, seeing it not as an end, but as another sacred transition, of birth back into the boundless realms. And it imbues life with an incredible sense of purpose, knowing that every moment is an opportunity for remembrance and growth. This profound understanding reminds us that we are not merely physical beings undergoing a spiritual experience, but spiritual beings having a temporary human experience. The life we lead here, with all its joys and sorrows, triumphs and tribulations, is a precious gift, a unique opportunity forged through the death of a higher state. Just as the phoenix rises from its own ashes, forever reborn, so too do our souls continually transform through the cycles of birth and death. Each death is a prelude to a new birth, a new opportunity for evolution, for deeper understanding, for a more profound expression of our divine essence. The ancients didn't lament this sacred death, they revered it. They understood it as an essential step in the soul's grand journey, a necessary contraction before an even greater expansion. They saw it as a testament to the soul's courage and its unwavering commitment to growth. Remember the ancient wisdom. Remember that this life is a sacred adventure, a cosmic school, and that your arrival here was a profound act of sacred death, a courageous surrender to form, for the ultimate purpose of remembering who you truly are. Your journey has just begun, and the greatest secrets are yet to be rediscovered within you. So the next time you catch your reflection, ask yourself, is it just glass and light, or a gateway? The ancients didn't fear mirrors without reason. They sensed a truth that modern eyes have forgotten, that some surfaces don't reflect, they reveal. If this stirred something deep within you, don't let it fade. Help this message reach others. Like, subscribe, and tap the bell to stay connected. And share your thoughts below. What do you think lies behind the mirror? Your insight may awaken someone else's.